So it's 4 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. First thing is to make sure we have a quorum, right? So we do. We have Arnold, we have Rose, we have Mark, we have myself. Absent is Danny. So what's next?
I believe we also have Mr. Palmer online.
We do have Mr. Palmer here, and we have residents, Felsteins and Rothschilds. So,
Yeah.
All right, proper posting will be properly posted. We got that taken care of. And what do we have to do? We have to dispose of the minutes of the last meeting. So the minutes of the last meeting are posted online. The meeting was recorded. Everything's out there. I'd make a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and accept them as put out there.
Support.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So I guess we can move right on to the first item on the agenda, which is really just review of everything that's going on there right now. As much as I'm looking for the agenda, I can't seem to find it. So, Mr. Secretary, what's the first thing we got to talk about?
Claremont TARP invoice.
Okay, so the Claremont TARP invoice has been settled with Claremont. Mr. Palmer, have you received the final invoice and paid that?
Yeah,
It's been taken care of, right?
yeah, it's done. It's gone.
That's what I thought. So we settled on 75% of the original bill, 25% discount, and it is paid. And it should be paid for accounting purposes out of the hurricane money that we had left over from Ian. Next.
Right Way Milton cleanup invoice.
Okay, so that's still in limbo at this point. Haven't heard back from them. They are still reviewing and was told that they would get back to us. So as of right now, as far as I'm concerned, it's paid, but let's see what happens when they come through. I'm expecting to get a reduced bill, and I don't really expect to be owing them any more money, but we won't know that until they come back to us. Anybody want to ask questions on that or anything so far? Okay, next, Mark.
WSV laundry room.
Okay, from what I know on the WSV laundry room project is WSV asked for payment in full, saying that they were done. I differ in opinion on that. There's still a punch list that needs to be completed. The door is not an impact rated door. It was supposed to be. The sink was supposed to be replaced. It wasn't. The floor in the back room has not been painted as far as I know yet. And they haven't strapped the plumbing to the wall. So until those items get completed, we will hold back the
And
final.
also the countertop.
And the countertop's still missing. So they have a punch list to complete there. I did look back and I didn't see where we had given them a deposit on that. So I asked Palmer Management if we hadn't given them a deposit to at least give them the deposit on that. And I believe that's been taken care of. So that's where we're at with the laundry room. So I guess the next thing on there is probably the windows and the window contract. No, what's next?
WSV drywall.
Okay, drywall quote, pretty much the same thing. They said they were done. I differed in opinion. There was still under the stairs, not done. They might be done now today.
It is done now, yes.
By now, but as of my last communications with them, it was not finished. So again, their contract said they got another third. So I asked Palmer to give them that 1/3. We still owe them a third. If they're done, they'll submit their invoice and then it'll get paid.
Okay. Next is WSV kitchen windows.
All right, so the window project is just about done. Their contract said when they finished one building, they got a third. So we approved, or I approved, payment of a third on the window project. They wanted to be paid in full, but the stucco work is not satisfactory completed on the north building. So until the stucco is satisfactorily completed, we will hold off on the next payment. Even when payments are made, when they say that they are finished and we agree to give them their final payment, we will be holding back 10% until all the permits are signed off on. And that was agreed upon between me and Misty prior to any of this, even though it wasn't in the contract. And she's fine with that.
Okay.
So that's where we're at with the windows. The window project will be done when the stucco is acceptable on the one building, but it's just, they kind of messed up the one building a bit. Next.
Hondo plumbing and hot water heaters.
Okay, so Hondo's finally got us their final quote, which we accepted and signed. In that final quote, they kind of neglected to put any kind of payment terms in there. So Toby and I have discussed it, and we kind of feel 25% is fair. I'm going to ask them to kind of give us an invoice or something just stating that, as that's what David has requested, since it's not in their paperwork. But it's not holding anything up. Toby unfortunately had some medical issues, and he's been out of work for the past week and a half. So it kind of set him a little off schedule. And he was telling me that he really can't get in there to do the hot water heaters for 2 weeks. So I reached back out to him and asked him, you know, if he could at least put in the 2 where people are trying to live, being which would be Mark and
Joe.
Joe Ketchum's, which he hasn't gotten back to me, but when I did talk to him, he said that they would definitely do what they could to keep, you know,
Behind the column.
you know, people that are trying to live there obliged. So the only thing they ask is, I mean, the big thing, they will be there and get the hot water heaters in before anybody's kitchens are done, it seems. If anybody is moving really fast on their kitchen and needs it done, you know, the hot water heaters quicker, all we have to do is give them a call and say, you know, we need this one done. And he says that they'll get it done. So that's that. I mean, right now it's in the works. They're ready to go. The only one thing they want everybody to know is that if you are moving quick on your kitchen cabinets, there's a couple. Mark, did he stop by yesterday?
I didn't see him.
Okay, so there's 3 or 4 units where when they cut the pipes off for the sink valves under the kitchen sinks, they cut them too short. And when they put the shark bite caps onto the pipes, in order to get the cap back off, they have to cut some of the sheetrock. We told the sheetrockers not to get too crazy around the pipes. What I'm saying is, he said it's only affecting the kitchen cabinets. Once the cabinets are there, they won't be able to get to the pipes. So they have to extend these pipes out in 4 of the units before the kitchen cabinets go in. He was going to stop yesterday just to refresh his memory which units they are. Basically, if you look in your kitchen and you see 3 or 4 inches sticking out of the wall of pipe, that's good, you're fine. If all you see is the cap, then you need to be extended before you put your cabinets in. Patrick is aware of this, and if Patrick's doing the kitchens, he won't do any before the plumber plumbs them out. But that's the only concern with the plumber, is that those stuff, if they're short, get extended before cabinets are installed.
Cabinets are already installed. And
Whose cabinets? Your cabinets?
my cabinets were already installed and
Okay, well, hopefully your pipes are sticking out of the wall far enough. I mean, I would think that the cabinet guy would say that there might be an issue, but if yours are in, I'm hoping that your stubs are out far enough. Okay. Anybody else have anything to talk about on this? Okay, what's next?
Electrical Solutions outlets.
All right, I haven't spoken to Electrical Solutions because I was waiting for the hot water heaters to be put in so that we weren't making them do numerous trips to the complex. But once again, like Rose, I don't want to hold you up from progressing. So if your counters, your cabinets are in and you're ready to get your hot water heater and your outlets in, then we'll call the plumber and we'll call the electrician and tell them that unit 44 or whatever it is, 43 is ready to go.
It has to be painted first.
Okay. So then, I was under the impression everything was being painted today.
All the
Again, I'm
units?
not there, but I did speak to Patrick and he thought they were going to be finishing painting today.
All 15 units were being painted today?
Again, I'm not there. He thought they were going to finish painting today is what I was told this
Okay,
morning.
I'll check tomorrow.
They're, if I can speak to this, there's no way they're gonna finish today. He's being optimistic, but they are going like gangbusters.
Okay. So
I don't know where they started. I know he was asking me about my colors and I've told him, make sure my place is the last place you do. So I just assumed since he was asking about my colors, then they were just about wrapping up. But, yeah, I mean,
Ours could be a last place too.
electrically, the electrician needs to hook up the hot water heaters. So ideally, we would have the hot water heaters in first, and then the electrician would come in last. But again, I don't want to hold anybody up. And if I know people are being held up, then I will be more than happy to make the phone calls to light the fires under the necessary people to get it done.
Hi, it's Claire.
Hi, Claire.
I just was over there with Patrick, and so regarding the paint, I saw that a lot of progress was being made. However, they were not going to be matching my kitchen paint. They were just, which was blue, they were just going to paint it white. So I had a discussion with him about that, and he still had not painted the yellow. I'm not sure if he was going to paint that. So anyway, we got that figured out, and they still had not ripped out my top cabinets, and he said there was some confusion there.
All right, yeah, there might be because top cabinets have nothing to do with the association. If you're having them do the top cabinets.
Okay, that's fine. Anyway, the color wise, I did thankfully run into him today to make sure that he was matching what he was supposed to.
I was told that everything is being color matched unless people specifically requested otherwise. So that's all I know on that end. All right, what's next, Mark?
I was gonna say 941-286 3059 just showed up, but I don't know who that is.
I don't see him.
Could the person who just showed up on phone identify themselves, please?
Oh, I'm
Uh-oh.
sorry, this is Sandy.
Sandy Sanchez.
Okay.
Yes, that's me.
Okay, so what's next, Mark?
Changing that, adding that name in, and WSV quote, paint trim doors.
Okay, well, that's where we're at now. I mean, they're in there painting. The doors, as far as I know, are ordered. As the board knows, Ernie had some problem with their verbiage in their contract, so that really hasn't been signed, although it hasn't stopped them from progressing, which is kind of good. I did get today the reworded contract with all of Ernie's changes made. I haven't had an opportunity to look at it because it just came in this afternoon. But I will forward that out to everybody. And I mean, it's not for everybody. The bottom line is it just has Ernie's changes. And as long as we verify that it has Ernie's changes, then we're ready to execute it, even though it's already been executed really, because I started the work. So,
And just so everyone knows, Ernie's the lawyer.
correct. So yeah, his changes have been made, and I knew that WSB wasn't gonna have any problems with any of those changes. It's just verbiage in the contract to make sure that everybody's solid in the end. But we're good there. What's next?
The grout quote.
All right, so we got 3 grout quotes ranging from really expensively, ridiculously high to only a little bit high to very affordable. So WSV was the very affordable, and since they're our contractor, I would definitely vote to hire them to complete the job. So if we're having, you know, a vote on this quote, I think their quote was $2,400.
Yeah, they've already said that it's gonna be higher than that. He admitted that he hadn't really talked to Misty about that. And she just quoted for cleaning only. Not for actually fixing any grout issues.
Okay. So that'll have to be addressed.
I spoke to Patrick and he said, there's no way I can quote that now because we've laid paper down on everyone's floors. And he didn't get to quoting it before the paper was laid. So, yeah, I think what we're gonna have to do is postpone that decision.
How did the other guys quote it with the paper on the floor? Just by square footage?
Yeah,
And I guess
yeah, they're
trying to be
nationwide.
more fair. I mean, can he not just quote it by the square footage like everybody else did?
No, because he's trying to get the price as low as possible, and frankly, some of the units need grout repair. Some of them can just as a quick cleaning, and some of them are going to be a lot more complicated.
Understood. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Then we need to do a little bit more homework on that one.
Yep. Next, Galloway's South Building repitch.
Unfortunately, Danny's not on the line, who is in charge of that. However, we did get some paperwork apparently, which I guess is standard, David's telling me. David, what exactly was it again that we're signing off on?
Basically, the
NOC,
I'm blanking at the name of it, but
NOC
yeah, notice.
of commencement.
Yeah. And we had to, basically, I was just asking, does this match up with what you guys are doing? For those of you on the board that I sent that out, said, hey, we got a notice of commencement. Can I execute this? And it's pretty standard. I just want to make sure that means that they're getting ready to start. And they have to file that with the county that, hey, work's starting. It's a notice of commencement. It's pretty standard. I do that on every permitted job. And I don't like to execute things without board knowledge and approval, forethought.
So with that education, do we need a motion to go ahead and have you execute that, or are we good to go? What do you need us to do?
I can use a president's approval to just do it, but since I don't have that yet in writing, if you do it here, that's fine.
All right, so I mean, we're talking about repitching the roof, which we've all decided and, you know, agreed on and signed the contract. This is just a formality as far as I understand it, you know, as a notice of commencement. And I'd say at this point, I'd give David authority to, or make a motion to give David authority to do whatever he needs to do to commence it along.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so unanimously passes to proceed along with that. Dave, just one thing I want to mention with Galloway. The last 2 times we've done anything with this roof, somebody's unit has gotten ruined. And, you know, the last time with Rana and Paul's place getting drenched and wrecked, and then Galloway getting upset because they went through insurance, I just want to make sure everybody's on the right page, that if something does happen, you know, what is the right procedure?
Tell us first, let us call Galloway, get them out there and go from that before you hire anybody that is not Galloway. Meaning, let's not engage a remediation company.
Because they're individual unit owners, should we send something out to everybody, letting them know, look, if you do have a problem, please contact Palmer Management first?
Wouldn't hurt.
You know, I just, you know, Ronna and Paul, as far as I'm concerned, did the right thing. They contacted their insurance because that's what, you know, that's why they have insurance. And
Yep.
you know, apparently Galloway got upset about that. And, you know, I don't really think that was the right situation at all. And I just make sure that this time we don't run into the same thing.
Just so you know, we're still about $5,000 short of what it costs us to fix it, and I'm still waiting for Galloway or somebody to step forward.
Yeah, I'm certainly not aware of that. I thought
No, it's never been settled.
I thought we squared everything up there.
No,
I don't know what to say about that.
well, I can send the information to whoever needs it to see what they can do. It's probably too late now, but
Palmer, should we send it to Palmer?
I mean, I'm definitely not happy about that whole situation, but you know, I got to be at the point where I'm too old to fight all this crap, so.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta.
I hear you, Paul.
I have I've said from the beginning to anybody that would listen to me that, you know, I didn't think you folks should be out of pocket from what happened. You know, I feel that you guys did what you had to do and what you should have done. And again, I don't know why you would be out of pocket. I'd like to rectify it for you. I just don't know what to do at this point. I don't have the documentation, you know, that I saw a bill for 2,300 or something that at one time I had given approval to pay. But now you're saying 5,000 and I never even saw those numbers.
I'll re-summarize it all and
Yeah, if you could.
send it out.
I think the board will entertain, you know, anything. Like I've told everybody with reimbursements, you know, reimbursements are something that we didn't budget for. We don't have the money. We can't just write a check and say, you know, here, we're sorry for that. We might have to raise the money in our next budget. You know, line item, you know, reimbursement.
Shouldn't Galloway take care of it?
Well, yeah, maybe they should have. You know, again, maybe we dropped the ball when it all happened. There was so much going on, and the floods hit. And
I don't think Charlotte Bay Villas should be responsible for it.
I don't either, but you know, it's going to come out of somebody's pocket is the bottom line.
Well, I don't want it to come out of Charlotte Bay Villa.
Paul, resubmit what you got, and the board will look at it.
All right,
You know, we'll see what we can do.
okay.
Mark, what's next on the agenda?
New business.
Arnold is up. Cabinet and appliance reimbursement checks, new business.
So I've received paid in full receipts for 4 units for appliances. And I recommend we pay those, authorize those to get paid today. I can give you the numbers that should be paid if you guys would like that. So you want to make a motion to do that for the appliance?
So I'm just thinking on how, I mean, I don't want to sit here and listen to numbers again and again and again. I've gone over those numbers so many times. I mean, if it's within our allotted amounts, I'm ready to just, you know, okay, if they submitted receipts and we have the receipts,
Yep.
Let's add the receipts, submit the receipts. I mean, David, how do you think we should you know, you're gonna be cutting the checks over there, and we want the receipts to go along with the checks. Do we send,
These to us, we'll send them to Rob for for payment. That's simple.
so it's as simple as that. So let's, I mean, what units are we talking about here, Arnie?
It's piecemeal. They
Yeah,
need to
40
submit a total, here's our total kitchen, all of our appliances. Summarize, I send it to the board of directors, not just Rob. Rob's the one that's gonna be pulling trigger, but if that number is within what was allocated for those units, we'll either pay the maximum that was allocated or what
Arnold,
their cost was.
I have it set up where on the spreadsheet, you can see it's in the drive, but basically the amount allotted, the amount spent, and the delta. So if they spent more than the amount allotted, they get just the amount allotted. If they spent less, they get what they spent.
That's
how-
exactly what I'm talking about. Good work.
so, I mean, I know Palmer would rather write one check. If we don't have everything in yet for the kitchen cabinets on those 4 units, I mean, I know with some people, that's a lot of money to put out of pocket.
I think what the issue is some, have money out without having to move it from one account to a business account or whatever, but,
So
we
if
have
some
4 right
people
now out of
can't
the 15,
afford
so.
to wait to get the one check, you know, I don't know how to make.
Better, but it's not the end of the world. We'll do what we're told. We would prefer to not be writing a check every 3 weeks for whatever came in that week. So if
We were gonna do it, we were gonna do it monthly, David, you know, at the
Okay.
end of each month at this meeting, we say,
Yep.
oh, we got 4 of them in. But I mean, so let's just say the possibility is writing 2 checks per unit.
I'm not gonna sweat 2 checks.
You're not gonna.
No, I mean, I would prefer to do one and be one and done. It cleans up the accounting so much, but if folks have cash flow issues, we can accommodate that.
Okay, so if in the event, I don't know what unit owners we're talking about here right now. So let's just say if a unit owner wants to be reimbursed for the appliances before they're done with the kitchen and the bathroom, then they need to, a written request for payment, partial payment, I guess is what it would be. On the other side, we will hold all receipts until the unit is finished. When the unit is finished, we'll issue it 1 check. Is that all right with everybody?
Yes.
Those who can afford that, I'm fine with that. What I would say is if we can limit it to 1 a month, that'd be great. For the units that can't afford to hold until everything's done.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
I just need to make sure that my receipts for my appliances are approved because they're from Marketplace.
Rose, we're gonna approve yours.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
I just
I
want to
mean,
make
it's the
sure.
board that's gonna approve it. I'm not
Okay.
gonna,
It's not my decision.
And then I'm fine waiting till the end.
you know, all right, good. No,
That's it.
we're gonna,
Everybody's benefit,
you say,
there is a maximum amount that you can collect, which
Yes,
is from the insurance.
I understand that.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just I didn't go to Home Depot. I went to Marketplace.
I mean, anything's fine receipt wise, as long as it's a legit receipt, not something
Yeah.
handwritten.
Yeah,
yeah,
you submit the receipts, I submit them to the board, they say, David, pay them, and I pay them. That's pretty much how
Fine.
that.
Well, we're actually, Mr. Palmer, cutting you out of that a little bit because Arnold and I have already gone through, got the receipts, verified them and see that they're paid receipts, and we have record of all that. So we're ready to move forward.
Even better. So if I get a directive from the board that says, pay, if you guys are tracking the receipts and you just say reimburse this unit owner for this amount, then we're gonna do it.
That's what we've got set up, trying to make it as easy as possible for everyone. Thank you, Arnold.
Yeah, thank you,
I
Mark.
have a question. What about receipts and payment for flooring? I mean, you got bathroom, you got kitchen appliances, and kitchen.
There's only, yes, there's only 3 units that are affected by flooring. You, Diane, and Nancy.
Okay, but so should we, I've authorized Misty to go ahead and do all the work, including the flooring and the cabinets and the
Yep,
and appliances. So when I get, I've already paid her a bill for the appliances. I sent that in earlier this week.
right. So keep your receipt for the appliances that you paid her already. And for the flooring, you have an allowance in
Right.
your sheet for the flooring, and we'll reimburse you up to that amount
Okay,
for your flooring. But again, it was only 3 units that have flooring lines.
okay.
Okay, and Paul,
Yeah,
don't pay Misty and assume that everything's taken care of for reimbursement. We need a copy of the invoice that says paid.
yeah, I know that. I'm waiting. She is gonna, once she gets my check, then I assume
Okay.
she'll send me the invoice.
Just
Right.
want to make that clear. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Will you
Hey.
send me a coupon for a hamburger so I don't not eat? You know?
Right. What do we got next?
Hi, wait, so I'm in the same situation. I am, I had them by, like, they picked out my appliances, and so I gave them a check. So I guess once they purchase them, they'll give me a receipt, and then I just, will they could send it directly to you, or?
No, you send that to us.
Okay. Okay,
Okay,
To Arnold, frankly. Sorry.
Either or, we communicate well, so.
I want you to be in charge.
Yeah.
all right, what's next, Mr. Secretary?
Next meeting, May 2nd, unless you want to have roundtable.
oh, excuse me. Also, I know my porch flooring was torn up. Apparently it was supposed to be. I just want to know, am I responsible for putting the new flooring in on the porch? If so, it's fine. I just want to know what the deal is. Patrick told me to talk to you, Rob.
Yeah, so the adjuster did not, I guess, notice that you had vinyl flooring in your lanai. He thought it was tile. So they gave us money to clean the tile. Units that didn't have tile and were just cement didn't get any money at all for the lanai. I don't, because that luxury vinyl that you had on the floor out there is not intended for outdoor use. I'm not sure that the insurance adjuster is going to cover it, because it never really should have been in an outdoor room. So I don't know how to answer your question. Right now, there is no insurance coverage for your floor. I will ask the adjuster when I speak to him if it was something he missed or something he just gave us clean. Like, he didn't miss the fact that people had Formica countertops. He just paid us as if they were granite because it paid more money. He was doing us a solid there. I don't know about the lanai. He might have missed it, but because it's an outdoor room, I know that they look at them differently. So yes, I had Patrick rip that floor up because it had to come up. He says you have really nice concrete under it. And he did not recommend putting that vinyl back down because it's not meant to be outside.
Agreed. I would like maybe epoxy or something. So I guess if you can ask the adjuster if there's any money they can go towards that.
That's all I can really do is
Yeah.
ask them,
Okay.
if they, look, this had vinyl. You might have missed it. Is there additional coverage? I mean, we are filing an amendment to the claim. So, but he did say that's a very time consuming process, whereas The first claim was a couple months. He says this, would be a few months. They definitely do like the full claims before the amendments, but he is working at it and we will work at it and I will bring that to his attention.
If I like part of the process of moving back in, if I get epoxy down there, would I be able to give you the receipt, and then should they okay it, then you will pay me back?
It's a hypothetical that I really can't say one way or another. Again, if they give us money, we'll give it to you. If they say no and you have a receipt for epoxy, then my answer to you is no.
Can I ask you what you recommend in your professional opinion?
Well, epoxy would probably be, so my professional opinion is people always say you should never paint concrete because once you paint concrete, it becomes a maintenance thing. You got to paint it all the time. Epoxy is different. Epoxy is a it's made to last. So if like we did the laundry room floor with an epoxy because it's supposed to last longer than paint. So yeah, that would probably be a choice. I mean, ideally it would be tiled with real tile. But again, originally they were concrete. Nobody had anything out in the lanai except for a concrete floor. So if anybody put in tile, that was something done by an individual. If it was some of them that had rug, that was an individual. So everyone was different. They were not, I'm rambling now and I just want to end this meeting, but yeah.
Rob, do you mind if I just speak on behalf of my mum? Just got a question to clarify something. Obviously with number 52, we have our budget, which we're clear on what we have for appliances and flooring, etc. We would like, obviously being in the UK, it's hard for us to kind of organise anything. So we have been in touch with Misty. We'd like them to do like all the works for us within the budget we have. I believe Patrick went into our apartment yesterday, day before maybe, to measure up for the kitchen, because then we need to know the sizes of the openings for the appliances and etc. etc. Once we have that, I'm just trying to catch up with writing checks and bits and pieces. When we do get that design of what they're going to do and we agree to them going forward, so we then have to write a check for the amount to them being reimbursed?
They've asked for money for the appliances because they have to go out and purchase the appliances. I mean, they're going to have to go out and purchase the cabinets also. I don't really know. I haven't gotten into it with them on how they're going to handle each individual unit.
Okay.
I'm in the same boat as you, and I'm going to be using them also.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% sure on.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, go ahead.
Misty and I have talked about this several times, and the general consensus is if you're ordering cabinets through them, you can, they will finance that. And by finance that, I mean, they will put them in and then they will come back to this board and ask the board to write a check out to WSV.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That clears that up. Thanks.
In the case of appliances, they would prefer for those to be paid for upfront.
Okay, and unless from talking with Misty, if she bought them through Home Depot, that we would get the discount and they could purchase those too.
Exactly.
Yeah, but she asked for money first.
I can tell you from my experience that I sent her the line items for the appliances that I wanted for Home Depot. She sent me back a invoice that was over $600 less than I could buy it on sale at Home Depot.
Okay.
So
But you still have to, we front that up first.
I sent her a check for that. She sent me back an invoice marked paid, which I gave to Arnold. That's how that process happened.
Right. And then that comes back from Arnold. I was thinking it was only if it was over and above that the checks had to be written, over and above what was actually allotted to the appliances.
So let me real quick tell you my experience with Misty. It was fabulous. So I asked her what kind of appliances she liked. LG was one. They flip houses a lot. I put my trust into her. She went to her guy at Home Depot, said, okay, you know, this unit 49 was allotted, say, $3,000. Find appliances that will fit in this budget. And then they were able to apply, like, because they have a relationship with them, coupons and discounts. So she was able to get me my refrigerator, my dishwasher, and stove for the allotted amount within the insurance. So talking to Misty, I think having her do something like that really saved me because I don't know what the heck I'm doing and fit within the budget.
Okay. That's good. So if you did go down that route and your budget was, you came under budget by a few $1,000s, where does that, where does the excess to save money go? Back into
So look,
what?
basically it goes back into the general fund. We know.
Okay, well, that's good. That's fine.
Bill,
Okay, that's
Bill,
good.
right now, just so you understand, we know right now that we're $46,000 over budget.
Yeah, that's fine, Rob. That was
So
what I just wanted
what
to
we're
know.
trying to do is, if each person saves us $3,000, then we're now
Yeah.
under budget instead of over.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I mean, I'm not saying everybody's going to do that, and we might still be over budget, but that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, what's next?
No,
Anybody else have any
You don't
questions?
get credit, everyone.
but they'll get it from the.
Okay, no other questions from the audience at that. Then the next thing to do is just decide when our next meeting is, and that'll be on the first Friday of next month.
That's May 2nd.
So that'll be May 2nd, the day after May Day. So May 2nd, 4 o'clock, and that's that. Without any further ado, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Yeah, I second it.
All right, seconded and done. So all in favor?
I.
All right.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries, meeting adjourned.